never, ever, 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 ever give up.
Period.
Do not ever give up. It's going to be hard. You're going to face trials, tribulations, all kind of different circumstances, but do not give up on yourself. If you give up, then you don't have anything.
So, welcome on the show.
Thank you for welcoming me.
First off, before I go ahead, I just want to say, like, I just absolutely love everything about your brand, just how you take care of yourself.
Thank you.
From Touch by Tiva and the dressing room, like, I just feel like you just killing it right now.
Thank you. Don't even blush too much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You know, it means a lot. It really means a lot.
This is how we first met. The first time when we first met, it was St. Thomas Carnival 2019, and I have booked you, and my sister was telling me, let's go to Touch by Tiva, I was like, okay. So I booked you, and no, actually what happened was you didn't have any available slots, and you was like, you know what, come at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was like, what? This girl is about her business. Like, she really wants to do my makeup at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So, funny story, I was like, okay, well, I want to get touched by Tiva, so I went at 5 o'clock in the morning. Funny story, so that same night, it was during Carnival, and I went to a jam. And
I could only imagine what you went through.
I went to a jam that night, and you know the jams don't finish until like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm inside of this jam at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I have a makeup appointment at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I'm in this jam.
I have a makeup appointment at 5 o'clock in the morning. What am I doing here? So I literally left. I rushed home, washed out my face, and then I went down, and I met you there. And when I tell you, the experience was just so nice, Sativa.
Thank you.
It was just so professional. Like, you had everything set up. You had your assistants. You know, I was just like, I like this, because most of the times you go to makeup artists and they just do your makeup, but I feel like you also gave that experience to that luxurious feeling, you know?
Wow, I'm glad that you're able to tell me that, you know what I mean? Because I really put a lot of work into these things, like all the productions, and like, you know, it's great hearing it back, you know, and I appreciate you for that. That Carnival was crazy. Everyone that sat in the chair was sleeping. I think everybody was in that same jam with you. I had girls sitting there, because we worked all the way up until 2.
Wow.
And I had girls sitting there with their mouth open, sleeping. You know what I mean? And then when they wake up, their friend laughing, and then she's like, oh, you been out of me? And I'm like, listen, no cameras. Y'all go back to sleep. Let me do y'all faces and relax.
Oh my God.
They arguing in the chairs about that, and then, like, you know, they can't get ready there because they come late. Listen, it was an experience, but I loved every second of it, you know, because everyone was comfortable, and it was just a great experience.
And that's another thing too with being a really good makeup artist, is making your clients feel comfortable. Right. You know, I feel like when I was in the chair with you, like, I didn't feel uncomfortable. I felt like
you have to look on your phone every second to see what's going on. No, I have
you
that.
You just have like that very comfortable energy, so I feel like that's really important as a makeup artist, you know,
because I have basically the next move in my hands right now, because I have if you're gonna go out or if you ain't gonna go out, right there in the palm of my hand, you know what I mean? So that's my job, is to make you feel, if you're uncomfortable, then you're gonna make me uncomfortable.
Right.
And I always, every time, like, you know, because I get a lot of clients who never wear makeup before. That's kind of like the norm.
Yeah.
I've never worn makeup before. I don't like this, and I'm like, okay, do you trust me? Are you here because you trust me? Like, why you book me for? You know what I mean? And then, like, we have that conversation, and they're like, no, I trust you, don't worry, okay, go. And then after everything is like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe that's what I look like. Are you so cool? You know, I appreciate you. You know, so it's all about the trust.
Right.
And we have to start there. That's going to determine the next.
Right. You have to be confident that, you know, I'm going to do this face really good.
Because when you're not confident, that's when things will go south.
Exactly.
Yes.
And how many faces did you do for Carnival?
If I was supposed to count, I think I took somebody every hour. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, and 2. Wow. 7. I put up 10 fingers, but that's 7. Yeah, it was 7 girls.
Wow.
And people were still contacting me, asking me if I could do last minute beats, but at that point, I was done.
Well, thank you. Up to this day, I'm so grateful that you were able to do my makeup that day, because After I left your chair, girl, I went home and I knocked out with my makeup on my face.
Oh gosh. And I'm glad we were able to do it.
I'm actually happy that my sister recommended you. So
and she booked me again this year, but then this whole COVID thing happened. So
when did you know that you wanted to be a part of the beauty industry and become like a makeup artist?
When I was in high school, when I was going to college, really and truly, the whole thing behind this is I wanted to know how to do makeup when I go to college. That was my driving force behind this. Like, I wanted to be fly.
So you always knew that you wanted to be a makeup artist?
Not necessarily. The makeup artist part caught me by surprise, but I just want to look good. If you understand what I'm saying. I wanted to, grown is makeup. I want to look grown when I go to college. So I was just practicing while I was in high school. And then my mom actually went over, because I went to school in St. Thomas. My mom actually went over and she had got me like a big kit from MAC that gave me everything that I could do to complete a full face. And me and my roommate were just practicing. People were asking. And then I happened to move back to St. Croix. And that's when my first client booked me. And I was like, oh my God, somebody wants to book me? Like, this is just makeup, And then like a hobby kind of just turned into reality, I guess, And so I would say unofficially 2013, but officially 2016. Yeah, 2016 is when I kind of created the name. Okay. And took it, full force.
So were you like scared to like take that first client? Like, what was like your biggest fear stepping out as a makeup artist? Because you don't just go from doing makeup inside your room and then to just booking clients. So that had to be like a jump. Like, what was your biggest fear like stepping out?
So my biggest fear would have to be failure. Like, I just was scared of doing this face and showing her in the mirror and she's like, oh my God, I hate it. You know what I mean? Like, that was my biggest fear. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to fail. I don't want her to not like this. Right. You know what I mean? But I kind of had to just stay grounded. And to be honest, I was kind of faking it till I make it because I didn't know how to use liquid foundation at the time. And so I used to tell all my clients, oh, I use the powder because it'll give you more of a natural finish. But really and truly, I just didn't know how to use it yet. You know what I mean? If I put it on, it would look kind of cakey. So it had to have been the failure for me, that was really a big thing.
I'm actually happy that you really like just put that fear to the side and just went for it, because fear is crippling.
Yes. And she actually loved it.
She did?
Yes, I was surprised. She loved it.
Did she book you again?
Yes, she did. Okay. It went swell. So after that, it was kind of like, okay, a little bit of an ease, but still was scared, for other stuff. But it was more of an ease because, like, okay, I finally was able to complete a full face on someone else, like, for real, for money. And they liked it, so I could just kind of do this thing now.
Okay. And did you have, like, a problem with, transitioning into the liquid?
I kind of like study the art of makeup, not necessarily the scientific part when it comes to the nitty gritty, but I kind of like just pay attention to, like, okay, if I like how Sheni is doing makeup, I'm gonna kind of pay attention to what she's doing, the way how she's holding her brush, the type of brushes she's using, because I see that it's working for her. So maybe if I purchase these products, then I'm gonna be able to complete a face and make it look as flawless as she's doing it. You know what I mean? So I like to pay attention to like skill that everyone has and kind of just like mimic it in a way, not like a follow fashion.
I know.
Just mimicking, different skills and tricks to help me be able to complete full faces.
So were you always good at makeup? Like,
no.
You were? Because I feel like, when I first started doing makeup, I used to, like, when I look back at pictures and memories from when I first started doing makeup, I'm like, I cannot believe I used to walk around looking like this.
Yes, I have that all the time. All the time. And one thing that I would tell you is we're a toughest judge. So I would even look back at makeup that I wear yesterday and say, oh my God, what were you doing? You know what I mean? Like, so we're a toughest judge, so don't even self-read into the judgment that hard, because you were fly at the time for the time. Right. You know what I mean?
And then the next thing too is like makeup back then is completely different from makeup today.
Yes, makeup evolves every day.
Like, I feel like back then, like, for example, like eyebrows. I feel like eyebrows is more of like, I have to see that you do your eyebrow. Now, like, I feel like a natural eyebrow is the way
best.
To go.
In our opinion.
In our opinion.
Yes,
for me, I feel like whenever I try to do too much on my eyebrows, it's just like, just give it a little fill, a little concealer, and you're good.
Yes, that's me too. I don't really fill in my eyebrows much. I would probably do a tint, and after like the third day, that's when it's the best. You know what I mean? Because then I don't even have to fill it in. I will just go ahead and conceal it, and you're good. You know what I mean?
For anybody that might be watching that might want to know about applying foundation, how you get your makeup to last all day, like what? Because your foundation right now is coming from my neck right now. It's coming from my neck right now. Like,
don't even do me that.
Silky smooth,
Thank you.
milk, for real. I feel like every woman just want their foundation to look like that. So like, what's like the first step you do?
The first step, and not necessarily what I do, but to a flawless face, is knowing your skin type. You need to know your skin type because you might have oily skin and then you put on a natural finish primer and then your face is melting off and you want to know why. You know what I mean? I would more recommend something mattifying for oily skin. But then you definitely need to moisturize. It's a whole lot. Listen, if we're supposed to really sit here and talk, we'll talk forever. But knowing your skin type is very important. Because that's going to depend if your face is going to last all day, if it's going to come on smoothly, or if it's going to melt off. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing would be to, take your time. Invest that time. Listen, don't say, oh my God, I have to go out. Let me do my makeup 2 minutes before. Invest that time in getting your face beat, or else it's not going to be complete.
At the same time, it's like, if I know I'm going out, I'm beating this face before I go out. So I'm not good, Is it I stay home or I just beat this face really quickly,
But I do think, because, like before, even when it comes to my clients, when I just started, I used to try to hurry up and get them out. I used to feel like taking a long time would run them away. So I used to try to do a 30-minute beat, 30-minute beat, 30-minute beat. And I realized I wasn't really putting in the effort, but I was more focusing on finishing than actually applying this thing on their face to make them look like a goddess. You understand what I'm saying? So I realized when I started to slow down, take it back a notch, relax, and actually pay attention to every step that I'm taking, their face would last all day. Because sometimes I might forget to prime my client and they will be like, oh my God, I have oily skin and this is the first time I makeup lasts all day. And it's like, well girl, I'm glad because I didn't prime you. But I took my time. I actually put effort into it. I beat her face like if I was beating my own face. You know what I mean? And that plays a big role in it as well.
So speaking of foundation, what foundation are you using right now?
So
I feel like everybody's going to want to know what you're using.
So stages. I really went through stages. I used to swear by Fit Me, and then I had to swear by my MAC. I still swear by my MAC. But right now, I'm wearing the Juvia's Place.
Juvia is...
I love her palette.
It's so, like, their makeup is so melting.
Yes.
And I have the Juvia right now. I don't use it as much because... the one that I have is a matte finish. I have really dry skin. What I have on right now is Maybelline. It's actually like a really good drugstore
makeup. I love the drugstore because it's so affordable. I like affordable. Affordable. If you're not affordable, I really don't want to see you. You know what I mean? I really like my affordable stuff, but I love this foundation. I'm checking myself out because it really is doing it.
Really nice.
What I could say is a little bit goes a long way. It's very thick.
It is thick.
But that's good because it's gonna last me a long time for my clients. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have to really re-up because I could put not even a dime size, an size, and it's gonna do your whole face. But I really love the consistency and I'm very happy with it. And I made sure to get it because I wanted to be sure that I should order this to use for my clients. So I'm thinking I'm going to kind of transition over to the Juvia's side, the Juvia's tribe. You know what I mean? With those foundations. Because I have every single palette, like I said, but I've never touched the foundations and it's perfect.
Girl, I don't even want to get into palettes, okay? Like, I feel like I just started to get into, like, having, like, a nice, smooth foundation. When it comes to shadows, that's a whole completely different story for me. So I usually keep it just, like, natural, because I don't want to look like no clown. But when it comes to shadows, sometimes I get intimidated. And I really want to get into it, but it's just like, whew.
Believe it or not, I get intimidated by shadows.
Still? Wow.
From the time somebody come at you, it's like, okay, so you like something natural? You know what I mean? Of course I'm gonna give you the beat that you're looking for. But I swear by a natural beat. I love when you just smoke out the lid with one shade. Even if you do a double shade, so you put like a nice orange tone and then you bust like a brownish over that, and you bust a brown or you bust a maroon or something. Those type of tones are very pretty to me, and it goes with anything.
Natural tones. I feel like even if I get into eyeshadow too, I wouldn't do like, you know, the bright colors. I'll do it here and there, but I'm all for like a natural, you know, earthy tone.
Is orange looks great on brown skin. Orange blush, don't ever go with red. Orange blush over your contour, orange shadow, rusty shadows. Even if you use a brown and you mix that rusty in, orange and brown skin is like vanilla in ice cream. I'm telling you, it just goes, that's what it is. So when you do get into it, there's a Morphe palette. I'm gonna tell you which one because I can't remember off the head, but there's a Morphe palette that has all the colors you would need.
Really?
Just for some natural nice tones to just smoke out the lid and just keep it pretty.
I think Morphe's a really good brand when it comes to like shadows and brushes. Their brushes are really, really good.
I really like their brushes, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of stick with the BH Cosmetics because they're more affordable. Them. They're affordable. They have great brush sets that are very affordable.
So he said affordable.
Yeah, affordable. If it's not affordable, do not call me. No, for real. But because I think that, you know, a lot of the times we pay attention to the name brand.
Right.
You know, like the Gucci and the Forever 21. Let me get a Forever 21. They're gonna look like a good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like the difference in prices. People pay more attention to the name brand,
right?
And the Walgreens gonna do the same thing that the Morphe doing. You know what I mean? Not everything, but you know, you find your different stuff. You know, you hit and you miss. You know,
that's why I brought up the drugstore too, because, you know, y'all can say what y'all want about Maybelline, but that foundation is really good for when you just first starting out too, you know.
The Fit Me is Maybelline, so trust me, I know.
Oh yeah, that's what you said, the Fit Me. Yeah, it's
that was me. That was me all day.
It's a really nice drugstore foundation. As far as like, you know, because the name brand side now, the more expensive side, I love me some NARS.
I'm longing to try NARS.
NARS. I brought it with me for the time that you had to do my makeup for the carnival.
Okay. I don't remember much, but I remember. I remember that.
Look, I know you beat your faces left and right. It's okay. You don't have to remember all of them. But NARS is really good. But like I said, you know, you don't have to always
go for the main brand.
Break the bank and buy the best the most expensive foundation out there.
Yeah, the most known too. Yeah,
because the same look that you could pull off with those drugstores, you could pull it off with those name brand.
I've been pulling them off with them but right now I haven't really touched my Fit Me. It's kind of just in the makeup drawer, just chilling. But I've used it once, probably like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, okay.
I forgot about you.
We serious, you know, every time. I kind of was like, okay, now I understand why I was using this, you know what I mean? So I don't sleep on the drugstores.
Yeah.
But definitely. I do want to try the NARS. Kiki Adams uses NARS. She have this video, What's in My Kit Foundation Edition. And she has her NARS. She also has Black Opal and Lancome and all kind of different stuff. You know, I kind of just taken it up the notch. You know what I'm saying? And you know, affordable as me. But yeah, she definitely uses the NARS and she speaks well about them. I just have yet to try it.
Okay. We just went over a little bit, you know, with your makeup and the skincare and you coming out as a makeup artist and, you know, Touched by Tiva. So you just launched your new boutique. How is the launch of, you know, the dressing room going?
You know, the response that I'm getting is just overwhelming. I mean, like,
I bet.
It's going great. I mean, COVID really had a big impact because we never really got a chance to stand on our own, being that, you know, we just recently opened in January.
Right.
Well, we did December, but really January. But you know, we just went online. I finally launched the online boutique.
Yes, I did see the website, and it's so cute, by the way.
Thank you,
it's really nice.
Thank you. And you know, we've been working very hard to, you know, keep the business flowing because, you know, COVID really messed up a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses are closing and everything. But you know, I'm just forever grateful that, you know, I'm getting support and you know, people are still purchasing, even if they're just checking it out, you know, and still, like, you know, sending good, you know, vibes my way.
Right.
So the boutique and the business could continue running, you know. So I am just overwhelmed. Overwhelmed with joy, you know. It's great. I can't complain at all. I can't complain.
You just opened up the dressing room and you also have like an actual location, right? Okay, so I know that had to be hard. Like, was it hard for you to like get that location? I know you were showing like a little behind the scenes, you know, showing everyone how you guys, you know, build it up together and stuff like that. Like, what was the hardest part in, you know, launching that boutique and just finding somewhere to actually run your business?
The hardest part in like, you know, starting this boutique was actually starting, you know, and sticking with it. Because I'm the type of person, I kind of like, not saying I jump in here and there, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know, I kind of like, you know, I have a lot of ideas and there's a lot of things that I want to do. And, you know, staying focused and staying on path and staying on track is like, you know, very difficult. Not saying that, you know, I was looking to go someplace else. But, you know, just actually like being focused and actually sticking through with this, you know what I mean? That was probably the hardest part, you know. And then when it comes to, you know, like some of the different things that I faced when it comes to, you know, people, you know, building, you know, finding someone to build, you know what I mean? Different stuff like that. We did most of it ourselves, you know what I mean? We're just asking people, you know, can you know, do you know how to do this? You know what I mean? Getting it done was like the hardest part.
And were people like welcoming? Like were they like did they want to help? Because I know sometimes when you're looking for help, it's kind of like a struggle, you know. Was people actually willing to help you? Because that's a task to like actually have like an actual store setting, you know.
And luckily, being that we were able to do it ourselves, we didn't really like. We had those troubles, but not really as much. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you know, people are willing to help, but then when they come to help, they kind of like give you just the help. If you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. Whereas we would put, you know, me and my immediate team, we would put in our blood, sweat, and tears. Right. You know what I mean? But whereas you bring somebody else that you're going to pay, and they probably give you just like something to finish the job. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we faced as well too. But luckily we were there, you know, working. And if I was supposed to name everybody, we'll be here all day. You know what I mean? Whether it was a conversation, advice, just stopping by and say, hey, how you doing? Oh, this is what you're looking like. You know what I mean? Regardless of what. You know what I mean?
Well, another thing I've learned too, nobody is not going to really, you know, put in as much work as you because it's your business, it's your brand. So when you have people coming on to help you, you know, you kind of wish they would actually see the vision, but it's also important to know that, you know, this is my brand, this is my business. Nobody not going to put in more work than, you know, that I would.
And, so, you know, especially with my boyfriend, I gotta give him a shout out. I don't know, because listen, the man really deal with a lot. Okay, he really dealt with a lot. He really went through this journey as me. You know what I mean? Because all the ideas, all the discouraged, you know, everything. He was living it 24/7. You know what I mean? He was living it 24/7. Okay, and he really helped keep me on track. And of course there's a lot of people, you know what I mean, but I really gotta give it to him because he really kept me grounded throughout this whole entire thing.
It's so important to have, you know, relationships and friendships that are very supportive. And I always said this, like, support is super important because if it wasn't for, you know, your friends and your family and your boyfriend, it's just like, where would you be? Yeah. And you can't do it by yourself. You need people to help you.
Definitely.
So the support, like I said, no matter, you know, any way that I could show my support, I would. I probably wouldn't be able to, you know, build or buy everything that you have, but, you know, support goes a really, really long way. Just like you know, just liking, commenting, sharing. You know, a few times I shared your stuff because, and when I share people's stuff, I share because I like, okay, this girl's stuff is on point. She knows what she's doing. I'm gonna share it, and I'm pretty sure that you put a lot of work into it. So you deserve that.
A lot of work, and that's to go back when I said, like, you know, like a conversation. I call my mother, my sister, them. Besides my boyfriend, because that's already understood. He's gonna get you from the jump. I call my mother, my sister, and my daughter. Okay, so this is what the deal looking like. And they're like, okay. And then if they go against what I'm saying, I'll try to convince them. Okay, but no, this is what I'm looking for. You know, but they're still there for conversation and support. You know what I mean? Just somebody that's just gonna listen. Right. You know what I mean? It could be anybody. I pull up on a bomb. Hey, listen. This is what I'm going through. You know what I mean? He counts as support because he sat there and he listened. Even if he didn't listen, he was there. You know what I mean? So it's really, it's a whole lot that goes with it. You know?
I bet. Well, shout out to him for being supportive because, you know, we don't have much men like that in the world today. And that's, you know, very important too. We have Touch by Tiva. We have the dressing room. Basically, we hitting Sativa up for all our beauty and fashion needs. Like, you know, you're the go-to girl for when I want to look good, I want to step out. It's a city girls type of night.
One-stop shop. One-stop shop.
But my thing is how do you balance those two brands? Like, how do you balance those two businesses? Because, you know, you have to set aside time for, you know, doing makeup for other people, but also running the business. How do you balance both of them?
So luckily, I'm in control of my own schedule. They work hand in hand. The dressing room desk is right here for me to cash out. Of course, you shop around. Yeah. And Touch by Tiva is right there for me to just
that's perfect.
You know, and luckily the clients that I have, they're understanding. So like, let's just say I schedule someone during store hours and someone walks in. Excuse me 1 second, let me just see what they want. Hi, afternoon, welcome to the dressing room. If you need anything, I'm right here in the Touch by Tiva makeup studio. Just come, don't even feel like you're a bother. And they're coming to the door, they close. You have this nice smile. And it's like, give me 1 second. Yeah, so you know, I'm kind of just like running around all around, and then of course I got to big up Amenti as my little sister. Listen, that little girl, I was Amenti. I have 10 clients today. I need you upstairs because I'm not gonna have a chance to go outside and assist, and she's gonna be there and she's gonna be working. You know what I mean? And sometimes when my other sisters come up, they assist me as well too. Like God really give it to Amenti. Amenti know the register more than me, you know. And then of course Nashim, my #1 supporter. As soon as he come off a walk from line 3, he behind the register and he like, Santi, what is this? Okay, there's a bathing suit. What size is it? Okay, where? And he looking for it and he assisting. So luckily I have them around me. They care and they're gonna give me that support and that assistance when I need it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit there and say, I did that myself. No. They're there and they're gonna give me that assistance. You know what I mean? Not all the time I get it because of course he works and I meant he goes to school. But when they're there, I close my eyes. All they gotta do is ask me that question. So my eyes can close and I'll say, it's right over there. You know what I mean? And they give me that time to rest, especially when I'm finished with a client. I've had 10 for the day, I'm tired. They're gonna give me that time to rest. They're not gonna bother me and be like, okay, well, you done, so we gone. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they're really there for me to help me balance too.
Shout out to Amenti and Nasheen. For real, y'all some red eyes because balancing two businesses, girl, I don't know how you do it, but that's very inspiring.
Luckily, it's two businesses on one me, so it's still one person at the end of the day. Still one brand.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
Do you experience being burnt out?
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. Actually, right now, I think I'm at a point where I feel a little overwhelmed. Luckily, I have the support that I can pour it all out on them. You know what I mean? But you know, sometimes I do feel discouraged. Sometimes, you know, I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to go there. Girl. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, especially when it comes to pulling off the productions because, you know, taking the pictures of them in the clothes, finding the photographer. Uncle Dave, that's Nasheen's uncle. He comes through with the pictures, you know what I mean? And, you know, that makes it easier for me. But it's like sometimes, and especially right now, I don't feel as inspired as I should.
Which is okay.
Yeah, which is fine. It happens. It's normal. It's natural. I don't beat myself up about it. You know what I mean? But I definitely do feel like, you know, okay, yeah, no, not today.
I mean, the most important part is you know, you don't stay in that rut. You don't stay in that uninspired mode. So I feel like, for example, for me, like sometimes I'll wake up and be like, I don't know if I want to do this, like, anybody gonna believe in me, you know, if anybody understand what I'm trying to do, but you have to get up every day and believe in yourself and believe in your brand, and like I said, support goes a long way. You have those friends and family that help you to keep you going, so. And
you have to push yourself, you know what I mean, and what helps me too is, you know, paying attention to my future goals, you know, because one of my main goal is for when I have kids, and they have their friends, and my niece and my nephew, that's my son and my daughter. You know, and I love them to death. When they're growing up, they come over to my house and it's like, yeah, we got a pool there, we got this. My goals is just my future house and my kids. And every day that me and Nashim, because he has a business as well, every day that we wake up and we do anything, we always say, yeah, when we get kids, I want them to have everything they want. If they rude, they ain't gonna get. I want them to have everything they want. I want them to be comfortable. I don't want them to feel, not saying that I have to grow up feeling broke or anything. Yeah. But I don't want them to have to feel any way. I want them to live every day happy and just excited, and you know they have like role models around them to show them like, you know, it's okay, you mess up, you do good, you have a goal, you follow your goal, you follow your dreams, you know, you just become try to be successful with everything that you do, you know what I mean? And that's my main goal. So I always just try to look back on that, so I could kind of stay grounded and, you know, get right back into, you know, work mode, and you know, I feel good again.
Boss mode.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, but those pep talks go a long way, and I feel like it's very important to be your biggest cheerleader.
Definitely.
You know, for anybody that's watching this and, you know, you have hopes and dreams of like doing anything, like when you first step out, you're not going to always see the support right away, but, you know, you have to cheer yourself up, be your biggest cheerleader, believe in yourself first, and then once everybody see that you believe in yourself, then they'll be like, well, this girl is confident, this girl is showing out, I want to support her. And that's exactly why I have you on this show.
But that's exactly what I went through, you know, first starting. Because when I first said I wanted to do a boutique, everybody know me, like to do everything. They're like, okay. They believed in me. I told my mom, I told my boyfriend, I told my dad, I told my sister, I was like, yeah, this is what it's going to be. If I didn't make this step and say, yeah, I really want to do this for real, and actually make, you know, the choices and the decisions to help me start, I wouldn't be doing this right now.
It's all about making that first step. It's all about making that first step, and once you make that first step, it's like, what was I scared about? You know,
and people gonna fall in between because they're gonna see you doing what you're doing, and they're gonna say, okay, well, she's serious, so let me assist her.
And not only that, you're gonna inspire people to do what they want to do. You know,
it's possible.
It is.
It's very possible.
So we kind of touch bases on everything that you have going on. Yes, you're that girl.
Thank you. Nobody bless so much.
No, but Fred, I absolutely love you to Sativa. Like, you have such a nice personality. You carry yourself with such confidence.
Gosh, thank you.
For real. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And to wrap this up, what is one piece of advice that you would have for, you know, aspiring makeup artists and female entrepreneurs out there? Well, yeah, female entrepreneurs out there.
Never, ever, 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 ever give up.
Period.
Do not ever give up. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna face trials, tribulations, all kinds of different circumstances, but do not give up on yourself. If you give up, then you don't have anything. The only thing you have is yourself and your job and your goal. And if you give up on that, then how are you going to be successful? But how are you going to make sure that you're getting where you need to go? You know what I mean? And always be in competition with yourself from yesterday. Because you're never going to raise the bar if you continue to just do the same thing and stay on the same page. You want to make sure that you're going up with everything you do. So if you blink your eye twice yesterday, blink it 3 times today. You know what I mean? You have to make sure that you're on that road.
You have to do things that make you uncomfortable, really and truly. And I'm going to end this on a note, is you have 2 struggles. It's hard being broke, and it's hard trying to be successful.
Definitely.
Choose your
I love
struggle.
that. Yes, I love that.
Choose your struggle.
Yes.
So without further ado, we're going to bring this to an end, and thank you so much again, Sativa. Like,
thank you,
I
loved it.
I loved
great.
it too.
It was great.
So where can the people follow you? Where can we follow, you know, Touch by Tiva, the dressing room,
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I'll definitely give you all of those so you can put it in, because to write out to say underscore it's gonna be all over. I'll definitely give it to you. Yes, I'll definitely give it to you. But I'm definitely on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, the whole work. Shopify, shop the dressing room online at shopify.com.
Alright guys, so without further ado, we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.